VBT explains so many things about the molecule structure, geometry, shapes, and about the magnetic character, about the and the hybridization also explains about the hybrid orbitals, hybridization, that how overlapping of orbitals takes place, how bond formation takes place, right? But there are so many demerits of VBT in which VBT was failed to explain. The first was the diamagnetic and paramagnetic characteristics. So VBT was failed to explain about the magnetic characters of the elements and the molecules, right? They say like in oxygen, VBT stated that oxygen is diamagnetic, but MOT, molecular orbital theory, literally stated that oxygen is paramagnetic. So VBT was not sure about the magnetic characteristics of the molecule. So that was the first demerit, right? Second is stability. VBT was failed to explain about the stability of the molecules. That why molecules stable means why what is the reason of their stability? How even having the repulsion and attractive force the molecules stabilize, right? If someone asks you about that which one is more stable, for example, if we take about hydrogen, H2, H2 positive, H2 negative. Okay, so among all these things, which one is highly stable? How you can explain? So VBT was failed to tell us the reason. Okay, so it was the failure of VBT that it does not explain about the stability. On the basis of VBT, we can't tell which molecule is stable and which is unstable, which is more stable, which is less stable. Right. Third point. In VBT, we came to know that only single bond, double bond, and triple bond are present. It just explain us about only these three types of bonds are present: single, double, and triple. So this theory was discarded by molecular theory later on, and it stated that it can be fractional. Means the bond can be 1.5, 2.5, 0, 3.5. So bond order can be in fraction. It's just not limited to 1, 2, 3 round figures. It can be in points. It can be half. It can be two and a half. It can be three and a half. Right. Next, VBT just clearly failed to explain us about the wave mechanics. And this wave mechanics was explains us by molecular orbital theory. Okay, so molecular orbital theory, it was developed by Holmes and Milton in 1932. Okay, so there are some basic features of molecular orbital theory. What were these? First, the electron in a molecule are present in the various molecular orbitals as the electron of atom are present in various atomic orbitals. It's just like the same. Stated that just like in atoms, as electrons are present in various atomic orbitals, just in the it just happen in same molecule. The electrons are present in molecular orbitals. So this theory was like totally concentrated on the molecule, right? In molecular orbital, in hybrid orbitals, this thing we have learned in hybridization that when atomic orbitals overlap, they form the new molecular orbital or hybrid orbitals, and the characteristics, the things which are related to these molecular orbitals, these are explained by the molecular orbital theory. So this is just molecular orbital oriented theory, right? Second is the atomic orbitals of complete comparable energies and proper symmetry combine to form molecular orbitals. This thing we have learned literally in hybridization that the atoms which have nearly same energy, comparable energy, can combine together and form new molecular orbitals with different energies, right? So, while an electron in an atomic orbital is influenced by one nucleus, in a molecular orbital it is influenced by two or more nuclei depending upon the number of atoms in the molecule. So, as in a single atom, we can see that all the nucleus means all the electrons are influenced by one nucleus. But whenever we talk about the molecules, so molecule form when two or more than two atom combine together to form a molecule. Right? This thing we know very well. So the at this stage in a molecules, now the electrons are influenced by more than one nucleus. Okay, means if number of atoms are four, so it is in the nuclear electrons are influenced by four nucleuses. So it's depend on the a number of atoms which are combining together. So on the whenever the one nucleus one nucleus influence the electron at that time, that is known as monocentric. Mono means single. And if in in a molecular orbital, the electrons are influenced by more than two or three nucleuses at that time, that is known as that is polycentric molecular orbital. Means poly means many, centric means it was centralized by many nucleuses. Okay, four. The number of molecular orbital formed is equal to the number of combining atoms. Okay, means the formation of molecular orbitals totally depend on the number of atomic orbitals, that how many atomic orbitals are combined together. So for example, if two atomic orbitals are combining, this means that if this may result in the formation of two molecular orbitals. Okay, means if three orbitals are combining, then three molecular orbitals. If four atomic orbitals are combining, then four atomic, and then four molecular orbitals. Right. But there is a case. Okay, if two atomic orbitals are combining, then they form two different types of molecular orbitals. In one is anti-bonding and second one is bonding. Then how anti-bonding and bonding is formed, this thing I'll explain. Right. Third thing, next thing is, the fifth one is the bonding molecular orbital has lower energy and hence greater stability than corresponding antibody form. If we talk about the bonding and antibonding, then bonding orbital is more stable than antibonding. Right. So just as the electron probability distribution around the nucleus in an atom is given by an atomic orbital, the electron probability distribution around a group of nuclei in a molecule is given by molecular orbital. As we know this thing, that orbital is the probability of finding electron around the nucleus. So same with the molecule. The place, the area where the probability of finding electron is like in a molecule. The molecular orbital, like atomic orbital, they just from molecular orbital is also same. They follow all the rules of the electron filling, that is Aufbau principle, Pauli exclusion principle, and Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity, right? So these all rules will be followed. Okay. So let's just talk about that how bonding and anti-bonding orbital form. How they are named as bonding orbital or the anti-bonding orbital. What is the reason? Okay. So this thing we will learn under the linear combination of atomic orbital, LCAO, and the formation of molecular orbital. It is known as linear combination of atomic orbitals, and how these combine, how the bonding and non-bonding orbitals form, what is the difference. So we came to know all such things, all these things in this, right? So according to wave mechanics, this thing we know that orbital is an area where the probability of finding electron is maximum. But in wave mechanics, it is if orbital is like a wave. It's a wave where the probability of finding electron is maximum. And according to Schrodinger wave equation, the wave theory, wave function is denoted by n symbol that is known as psi. This is psi, right? So psi represents the amplitude of the electron waves. Okay. So sorry. So let us apply this method to the homonucleus diatomic hydrogen molecules. That if we talk about the homonucleus means same type of nucleus is there. If two hydrogens combine together to give hydrogen molecules, so homonucleus will be there. So if we named it as A and B, so what is the wave function? We are talking psi A is the wave function of atom hydrogen 1, hydrogen A, and psi B is the wave function of hydrogen B. Here we are talking about the probability of finding electron, right? So if you want to explain this thing, right? So the formation of molecular orbital may be described by the linear combination of atomic orbitals that can takes place by adding or by subtracting the wave function. Okay, so let me just explain you how this thing takes place. So if we talk about the wave functions, that how the overlapping of wave functions takes place. Okay, so if we are talking about these two, so this orange one is A, this green one is Y. We are considering this. This is one hydro wave of one hydrogen, and this is the wave of the second hydrogen. So if the wave are overlapping in such a way, that they are adding to each other, at that time, see, the wave size increases. Means they just add on. They are adding together and make a large wave. Means two small waves are adding together and make a large wave. And this is the large wave. This is known as constructive interference. This is formed whenever psi A plus psi will be there. Okay. And if we talk about the waves where the where about this wave function where the waves cancels each other, means if these two small waves combine together, so they cancel each other, since we don't find any wave. So this is known as destructive interference. So there are two conditions. When first condition, when waves are adding together. Second condition, when waves are cancelling each other, means when waves are subtracting together. So when waves adding together, that is known as constructive interference, and where when they are cancelling each other, that is known as destructive interference, right? So in this, we found different results, as you can see here. So psi NO, molecular orbital, wave function of a molecular orbital is psi A plus minus psi B. So if you add this thing, you will find bonding. And when you subtract this thing, then you will find the anti-bonding molecular orbital. So that is how we find out the types of molecular orbital. So there are basically two types of molecular orbital, anti-bonding and bonding. This is sigma. Sigma means sigma is for bonding, and for anti-bonding, sigma star is there. So the molecular orbital sigma formed by the adding of atomic orbital, as we have learned that this is a type of constructive interference, right? Anti-bonding orbital form due to the constructive interference when waves are adding with each other, right? But what happened in molecular orbital? Sigma star formed by subtracting of atomic orbital. When this is the case of destructive interference, when the waves cancels each other, and that results in the formation of anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, so let's just take this thing with the diagram. So if one hydrogen here psi A combining with psi B another hydrogen, then two electrons are taking part in the bond formation. So if I add this thing, what will happen? 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So in bonding, we used to put two electrons, 1, 1. But in anti-bonding, no electron is there, because if you must subtract this 1 from this 1, then you will get 0. Okay, so that is why this is vacant. Okay, so the qualitatively, the formation of the molecular orbital can be understood in terms of constructive and destructive interference. This thing I've already told you. So whenever the constructive interference is there, whenever they are adding with each other, the electron goes to the bonding. And whenever the electrons are subtracting each other, this is destructive interference. So there is no electron in the anti-bonding side. Okay, so this is whenever we just prepare the energy level diagram, this is the type of energy level diagram in which we shows the energy. So the energy of the sigma, this bonding is less as compared to the anti bonding. So that is why we can say that sigma has less energy and have more stability, and sigma star has more energy and less stability. This thing we know that if something is having less energy, so it means it is more stable. And if something is having high energy, it means it is more unstable, right? So there are different conditions of combination of atomic orbitals, that how atomic orbitals combine together. There are special conditions and criteria, right? The linear combination of atomic orbital to form molecular orbital takes place only if the following conditions are satisfied. Number one, the combining atomic orbital must have the same or nearly the same energy. If there is a difference in the energy levels of the atoms, then what will happen? The combination will not take place. Okay, this means if one S is combining with another one S, it can combine with another one S only. It cannot be possible that one S will combine with two S, because they do have different energy levels. Because 2s orbital has high energy as compared to 1s. So this is not true if atoms are very different. Means if the energy is high, one has high energy and another one has low energy, so they cannot combine together and form the molecule. So this was the basic thing, the important point or the important condition which is required to form the bond, to form the atomic molecule. Right. Second is the combining atomic orbitals must have same symmetry about the molecular axis. Means if the molecular axis or z axis. So by convention, z axis is actually taken as the molecular axis. So whenever the atoms combine together, so z axis is considered to be the molecular axis. So it is important to note that the atomic orbitals having same or nearly same energy will combine. If they don't have the same symmetry, they will not combine. So if molecules have same energy or same symmetries, only they can combine. If they have difference in their energy levels or in symmetry, they will not combine and form the molecule. For example, if 2p orbital of one atom can combine with 2p orbital of another atom, but not with 2px and 2py because there are differences in the symmetry. It means that if 2pz is combining, so it can only combine with the 2pz only. Why? Because they have same energy and same symmetry. 2pz cannot combine with 2px or with 2py because 2px has different symmetry as well as energy. 2py has different energy and different symmetry. So this was clearly stated that the atomic orbitals having symmetry, same symmetry, they can combine. If they don't have same symmetry or the same energy, they will not combine and form the molecular orbital, right? Third point is the combining atom orbitals must overlap to the maximum extent. Means it must overlap to the maximum extent. Greater is the extent of overlapping, greater will be the electron density between the nuclei of the molecular orbital. So the extent of overlapping must be maximum. Got it?